What's up, YouTube? It's Ken again. Thanks for stopping back by the channel. In this video, we are fixing this master window door switch. Had a really interesting set of symptoms that led me down this road and actually why it's on the bench here. Our passenger window would not roll up after it was rolled down. Rain was coming, so I guess they rolled it down and then realized, wait, my family anyway, they were going on an outing. They realized, wait, we got to roll this back up, and it didn't work. Later that night, we just garaged the van. They used the other one that we have. We have a 2010 and a 2005. This is out of the 2005. So it's about 20-something years old, 21 or so years old. Anyway, later that night, I went to troubleshoot, and these two did not work. I looked on the Odyclub forum and did some searching, and people suggested that this whole unit is to blame. And so I was really close, actually, to just tearing out the motor from the passenger door, but I'm glad I didn't just fire the parts cannon at it, because that would have just been costly, both my time and money. And anyway, especially with these two not working later that evening, they did work during the day just fine when I was just testing the passenger window. But what would happen is anytime you'd click any of these buttons or push any of these buttons, you'd just hear clicking at that respective window. I shouldn't say window, I guess door, but regardless, you'd hear it in that area. And because I have two Odysseys, I swapped it out with the other one, and it worked great. So it was definitely just the switch. It's a common issue according to the Odyclub forums. There's a trace that goes bad in the board in here that we're going to get to. To get this out, I just used a pry tool. You can kind of see it's a little boogered up here, but you can't really see this because it's down in like the recess of the door. But I just use a pry tool and pop it up, and then you just gingerly, pop it up so that the clips don't break. So I'm going to get this out of the way. I don't know yet if it's required, but I also popped this little part out. I was trying to figure out how to get this apart on my own to see if I could see the issue before I went to the Odyclub forums. So I'm going to get that out of the way. The other thing I did, I'm going to bring this back in. There are 4 screws. So one here, another one here, here, and here, and you just unscrew those, and then you can remove it out of this unit. So this is a new cut of the video. I had to look up the Odyclub post that I was referring to, and it's by RW, so credit to RW, who's walking me through this via pictures. But there's a tiny Phillips screw down this hole. RW calls this the radio module. Yeah, this got it out. You got to be really careful not to strip these. There's the size right there of the screwdriver that I'm using. I got this at Harbor Freight. It was in a Quinn set, I think. I'm removing that window lock button now because it has to come out later. The next part, according to RW's instructions, is to pop this cover off, and I'm finding that easier said than done. Maybe just a little bit of a lip. There we go. All right, I kind of am prying it up, and that gave me a bit of a lip or a lift on that side. Let's see if I can replicate that on this side. Kind of trying to pull up and over. This side still is quite firmly locked. Again, don't want to hurt anything. Not sure if the board's directly on this other side. Would make sense, so I don't want to pry on it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Got enough of a grip on it to get my digits around it and pull it down. There's these tabs over here still. Now that I've got it like that, yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so definitely want to be careful. I was pulling up and then prying over. Don't think I hurt anything, but yeah. All right, so that's the board. And now we got to locate the trace to confirm that that's the problem. And sure enough, you can see right here. I don't know if I can zoom in enough. Looks like it's right there. And this does look like the spot that I see on the pictures as well. Corroded, right? Right in there. Okay. So we confirm the spot. RW says cut back the plastic nibs and place a piece of electrical tape over them. One other place on the PCB that can be an issue in the future near C52. Okay. I think I'm going to just remove that radio module and honestly remove this while I'm here. So the nibs, what does he mean by nibs? Is it maybe this that's creating... Interesting. Okay, so cut back the plastic nibs and place a piece of electrical tape. There is one other place on the PCB, and that's near C52. Okay, I'm gonna look for C52. All right, I'm gonna make the executive decision to just trim the adjacent side here, or the opposite side. There, I don't see a C52, but there is an R52, so I'm going to assume, hopefully not incorrectly, but maybe incorrectly, that the reference was to R52. Because again, you can see that clearly, and there's where I believe we're talking about what the issue is. It would kind of make sense that that's rubbing against it and causing some issues. Or I don't know, maybe it traps water there or something. Whatever. Funny thing is, like when we clip this, I don't know, we're using a bypass, so I don't know that this is going to do much good, but I guess it's just not going to add to the harm. Okay, so there's one. I didn't really get a good clean cut on this one. Okay, so there's that. I've got some Scotch 33, using the snips to cut these pieces of tape, because I can't find scissors. We have like probably 30 or 40 pairs in the house, and I have one that's supposed to be out here in the garage, but I probably moved it. So that's on me. I didn't put it back. So let that be a lesson to all of us to put our tools away so that we don't lose them or misplace them. I need to follow my own advice. Really preaching to myself here. All right, plastic tape secured over them. That's done. For reference to the wire that I used, I'm not saying you should do this, but this is a 22 gauge wire that I have from a set from Harbor Freight, from this spool right here. I had an 18, but it looked pretty thick, and I just don't know that it would have been the proper approach. Maybe I should have gone with it, but I did not. So with that in mind, if you follow my steps, you might want to look up better soldering practices or procedures. I just am trying to do my best with what I have and what I know, and avoid a $300 charge for a new switch. Here's a look at the soldering job. Don't look too closely, it's not great. I cover it with some electrical tape. And there's the other one. A day later and another problem discovered. There are, I don't know what to call these, sliders that are on these units here. And you can tell, these are the switches of course. And you need to make sure that the arms lock back in to those sliders. And my symptom was that I wasn't able to actually roll down this back left window. One other thing I'm going to do is put another piece of electrical tape here. There is an indentation in the case. I think it's right here on the side. That does kind of cut into the wire. And actually, you know what I might do is nibble that away a bit. I think I'll do that. I'll just take probably my side cutter and kind of clip that down a bit and just see if that'll help. I don't really want it pressing into the wire. I don't think it'll hurt anything. It's insulated, but I mean, it's not going to do it any favors either. And for good measure, there's a little bit of electrical tape in there where I snipped. This radio controller, there's a little connector there. plugs in on the board. All right, now for the moment of truth. The driver's side still works as expected. You can hear the passenger. Back right. And the back left. We're in business. Well, that wraps this video up. If you found this content enjoyable, please do give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, please do consider subscribing. And as always, please do feel free to leave your comments down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.